Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Just... Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Mic testing 1, 2, 3. Can you guys give me yes or a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me properly? Just want to make sure. And I'll just download YouTube. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me. That's the issue. Wait, my captions are on. Things are working fine. Okay. Beautiful. That's Wrench probably, yep. Yo, Wrench, are you here? Anybody here today? I just want to make sure like you guys can hear me before I go forward, because if you can't, then I have to figure why not. If you can, like, can you hear me? Or this is like, it's not private, right? It's public. Should be good. And I have to open it on my phone to see. People are quiet today. Okay, you guys can hear me. That's good. Beautiful. Okay, lads. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So today we are going to do some React video. I mean reaction video, not React like the JavaScript framework. So today I got this request, or basically the idea, from Wrench, and I'll share my screen here so you guys can see properly. Oh, you guys can see my screen. So Wrench mentioned Defcon CTF to me regarding like a reaction video, a good reaction video. So let's have a look into that. But before we go forward with this, right? This is from 2025, like basically latest one. But because of the time constraint, we have to figure out which ones. These are from 2023. Nothing from 2025 latest, I guess. Where's 2025, 2023? 2025 finals, day 3, day 2, station day 1 casted.
And we are back, just a couple minutes late, but not.
Oh, okay, wait, that's up there. So I want to know like which one to go for the first one, because I haven't watched these. So I assume maybe we can start with like what is the intro video of them. Position 1 dedicated like CTF, past live streams. So in their live one, which we have CTF finals 2024 kickoff, challenge 1 recap. Maybe that might be a good one to start with. Challenge 1 recap. Let's see what this is.
And okay. I am.
Okay, probably let's start from here.
Live stream. Hello everyone, welcome back to the second live stream for live CTF. And I am hearing myself, so I need to sort that out.
Do you have the stream open?
I do have the stream open.
Yep,
And
that's a classic.
I no longer have the stream open. Welcome, everyone. Hi, I'm Carl, or Seda2, here with my fellow Live CTF organizers. And we
Yeah,
have
hi.
Glenn and
I'm
Mark.
Glenn. I'm the guy who wrote the challenges that you're gonna be enjoying right now.
Nice.
And Mark.
And
Later.
So what has just happened? We had the first challenge, Robably. That was one written by me. It closed 1 hour ago, and we had 24 solutions submitted, 24 valid solutions submitted to us for that one, with the first one coming in already after like 20 minutes. So that was quite impressive. And also at the same time as we closed that challenge, so 1 hour ago, we also opened the second challenge, which is, as Glenn mentioned, written by him. And so that one has been open for an hour right now. Currently, I'm going to double check
someone
that
solved
actually.
it 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
wow.
okay. It was just solved. When we were setting up the stream, it didn't have a solve. So now it does have a solve.
Congratulations
Nice.
to Never Stop Exploiting. I guess we'll be
Yeah.
seeing that in a couple hours.
Great job. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We will talk about that one in the next stream. Now we're going to talk about Robably.
Before we go forward, I'm not going to lie, this is the cutest thing ever on a live stream. You see the bow?
So this challenge was a reverse engineering challenge, classic NCUTS style. You are served a number of crack me's, and you need to provide the password for each of them. So presumably you need to build some kind of script to automatically solve the crack me. And I'm just going to show what one of these crack me's look like. So if you open this in Binary Ninja, you see that there are like a whole bunch of functions, and they're all short snippets, and they all have this form where they start with this. No, sorry, I need to actually switch the view to show the viewers. Now, here's my screen being shared. Here's Binary.
1 second, lads. I want to make sure I'm at the highest quality because it's very hard to see.
Ninja with one of the samples open. So the players were given 20 samples. I believe there were like 200 or something in total on the server, and the players had 20 to kind of test their solution locally. So the challenge is full of these small chunks of code, each starting with an instruction swapping the RBX and RSP registers, doing the same thing again at a return. And all of these functions are then also, the addresses to them are in a table. So basically what this is a ROP chain executing some code, performing the check. Glenn, you did
So people who don't know, this is assembly code.
Like a test solve of this one when
Yeah.
we did our internal work. So
Like binary, but like almost assembly. You need to understand assembly, how things are put. Data is put in one registry, whatever you have, and then from there, like you do the operations, add, change the data inside that registry, blah blah blah.
what was your approach?
So I saw a whole bunch of gadgets. I saw that if you scroll down to the main function in there somewhere.
Yeah, let me get a main function. Yes.
Yep.
Here.
It calls out to a second helper function,
Yep.
which
Let's
then
get
did a
that
whole bunch
high
of
level.
weird stuff with the stack and then compared a thing. Yep.
Y-
And I looked at
think
this and I was
it's
like,
this one.
okay.
Yeah.
It's setting the stack to some data address. Quickly found out that trying to load ROP code into Binja is not super supported. Wrote a whole bunch of stuff to try to like see if I could get Binja to analyze it.
Binja. No, not Ninja. Binja. Binary Ninja is an interactive decompiler, disassembler, debugger, and binary analysis platform built by reverse engineers for reverse engineers. Okay. Let me save it in my. I need to create a different one. Tools. So it's in tools. That's good. So I'll drop this one, lads. I had no idea there was a .ninja URL as well, like TLDR or TDR.
I was like, nah, not really. So then I just threw it to the tried and true anger. What are you doing in there?
I'm just
Yeah, the
trying
font
to
size.
increase the font size a bit.
Yep.
But
There's
I
actually
don't know
two
if
font
this works.
sizes.
Man,
oh,
you want the
double
view font
sprint
size.
again.
Need a big font.
oh,
Okay.
here we
there
have
you
it.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
nice.
There you go.
Uh,
Ask me how many
like-
times I've done that on a presentation. So
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So I looked
Yes.
around at the gadgets. I realized, hey, it's doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think I have this open anymore. I scripted up a quick thing that put all of the addresses that were being like in the stack. It pushed them, and then it called, or then it returned. So then Binja can like basically analyze the ROP chain as if it were a function. And then I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, it's doing a bunch of constraint solving.
Yo, Idor, good morning. Wrench, yo, what's up, lad? Bro, I was waiting for you because I had no idea which one to go for in the start. And I thought, you know what, we'll start for some reason, we'll start from challenge 2, not even 1. The one that will help get to that CTF. But this is interesting. Have you guys played with Binary Ninja? I don't. Dude, this is, I had no idea, like, there is like this level stuff going on. Is brain fucked up? I understand my brain is fucked up too. I don't take it seriously. That's the thing. Take it as my advice.
can't automate
Same
that with
level as
Ninja.
take this video same level as my advice. Not seriously at all.
And so I just like switched to anger,
Yep.
I don't use Binary Ninja.
which is the
Um,
classic.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
that one too.
And actually, if we do take a look at some of the solutions from
Yeah.
the teams, so we have here a bunch. I feel like
Shout outs to the anger people, by the way. They are very cool. And one of them gave a talk at our conference that my company ran this year, so that was very cool.
nice. Yeah, Anger is very nice.
What a good
I
tool.
actually learned a little bit more about it while building.
I use Binary Ninja, use x64 debugger, same. Oh, okay. Dude, I haven't done much of this type of analysis. Let me do one thing actually. So that will be way better. So I can see everyone's chat automatically and everybody else can see too. And let me change my face quickly. This is same as I think when we were doing our here, move myself here. Doom. Okay. So you guys can see everything, right? Assembly level stuff, yeah. Assembly is hard though. I'm doing a challenge where we have to get the key pad code from a SAL file and map it out to the 3x4 matrix. My brain got effed up pretty bad doing that. Oh dang. Yeah, then use Gither. That's the one I think pre-installed in Kali as well, right?
This challenge because I had to
I
solve
learned
as
more
well.
about it while solving your challenge.
it. So I've been looking through these solutions from the teams, and I'm seeing kind of two main themes, basically. Some of them, let's see if we can find an example of that.
You managed to pick
Some
one
of
that
them-
doesn't use anger.
Yeah,
you
so
go.
here is a pretty, I would say, pretty vanilla anger approach, right? So we
Do you
can
want to
see
increase
that
the
they're
font
like,
size?
yes, I should increase the
bit.
font size a bit more. This is maybe even
There we go.
maybe even that. Yeah. Let me just remove this a little bit. Right. So it follows kind of like a very common approach with anger, right? We load up this thing, we create some symbolic data containing the password that we're after. We set up our state like to run the program, and then here.
Bro, let's talk about this Python file. State dot memory dot store or map register, and we have like the address we are putting and the pointer and stuff. These guys, you said it right though. Like these guys are not playing.
They actually seems like they're hooking get line, I guess, to set up the.
Do you have like a good one we can like? I want to finish this one because we started it. But also, do you have like a good one, even like a good other? I was thinking we can play a Fern one, which I really liked last time. But even like a good Defcon challenge, which is like something we can understand, maybe web related. That's what I like. So, I'm hearing OOPs in C++, which is skipped last time. Oh, bro, OOPs object-oriented programming is like, I will say one of the object-oriented programming itself is one of the best things I have ever learned in computer science. Like, best thing, like, once you, it's hard to understand in the starting. It took me 2 years, right? Not going to lie, because that's what I think I mentioned when we were chatting. Took me 2 years. First time OOP was introduced was in like the second half of my 11th grade. But when you learn object oriented programming once, like it takes time to hit you. Nobody can teach you. It takes just time to hit you. Once it hits, you will realize how important it is and how easy it is once you realize it. There is no easy challenge. I have a friend who is good in reverse engineering. He did them. He got only 5 challenges. Oh wow, damn, bro. But yeah, I understand, man. It's brain fuck. Yeah, I did OOP. Dude, OOP is like legit one of the most interesting coding things you will learn and like so helpful. And especially, I will say this: if anybody is looking to go into like big companies, right? OOP is very, very useful. Very, very useful. Pretty bad for me. Oh, no, don't worry. I think, like, if you guys want, I'm really good with these kind of concepts, and in future, hopefully, I can make those videos. If I get a good video editor, I can make some really good videos. That's the thing. I need to find a good editor, and I need to find some good money to pay him. Syntax, dude, concept is good. Oh, yeah. Syntax, too, it's not that hard. It takes time to click. I will just say. It takes time to click.
The symbolic memory in this case. And then they basically here doing an explore and looking for, so the binary will print yes or no. So they're just looking for that in the output, and that is their determination whether it's succeeded or failed. And then they run this, and there you get. So this, yeah, very kind of, I mean, relatively
Pretty standard Ganger
simple.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There are a bunch of variants on this. I would say this is maybe as simple as you can make it, or very close to. I've seen some variants on this. There is also, let's see if we can find, I think.
Remember Mal CPP code? There's no OP. Oh. How was Rocky for you, by the way? Oh! Dude, I have this. I don't know if you guys can see it. I love Rocky. It was pretty fun. I liked it. Because when my parents were coming, my cousin sisters, I don't have a real sister, but my cousin sisters sent me a bunch of Rockies. So I have a bunch. I love Rocky. Hope you guys had a good Rocky too. How was your guys' one? Also, my CP code for my malware dev. Oh, I know the one you shared. Oh, I see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I have level 16 Rocky. Or total 16. Yo, I know the one you were mentioning in your GitHub. That's one? You don't have any OOPs? I made Rocky with C++. You have to send that code, mate.
Sauercloud had kind of like an in-between approach. Let me go down to Sauercloud. Yes. So what I think, if I understand this correctly, what they are doing is that they are opening the ELF file, and they are reading this ROP chain table thing and finding all of those gadgets, and they're putting all those gadgets together, and then so they basically reassemble.
Lost all my earnings. Damn. And for some reason, I knew you were about to say this. This is hilarious.
The original function, and then they use Anger's ability to just load a snippet of code as shell code, and then they run Anger on that. So they don't do like a full black box kind of approach with Anger. They first do some manual deobfuscation, and then they run the run Anger on that, which is very similar to what I did in my reference solution. So that's cool to see.
Yep.
Tell me you used object dump.
I did not. I used, like, in my solution.
almost
I
did.
had capstone.
Anger. What is anger? Great minds think alike. Yep. Anger is an open source binary analysis platform for Python. It combines both static and dynamic symbolic concolic analysis. Okay. Let's see what. Anger is a powerful open source binary analysis platform written in Python. It provides a suite of Python 3 libraries that enable various analysis on binary executables. So this is helpful when it comes to like finding viruses in your computer about executables or just breaking them apart and stuff. Okay, let's see. Oh, the Ratatouille one. Yeah. Sees your C++. Oh, yours is just function. There is one class. Struct. Okay. Dude, yours is just functions. Interesting. No object. Wait, this isn't. Hold up. I have sent the Defcon CTF link on Discord. Okay. Archive Defcon CTF. Welcome hackers. This is a live playable archive for Defcon CTF challenges brought to you by the Order of the Overflow 2018-2021 host of Defcon's official CTF. Oh wow. That's why okay. Order of the Overflow. Oh, okay. Interesting. Easy, but can you hack fast? Harder challenges. Dude, this is like if you just do these CTF, I think you are good to go for like your whole life, right? Defcon AI CTF solution stream. You guys are blowing my mind right now. Damn. Hold up, let me play this in the background. This is crazy and like, yo. Yours is function, but browse info. You have just one browse info in your whole coding. Damn. Yeah, dude. The reason I will say this, Idor, because you are way higher level than me when it comes to cybersecurity. But I will say this: if you want to go for big ones, like functional programming, even like those and object-oriented programming, those things both are important because they will look at your code and say, okay, what type of a programmer you are. That I will say this like for sure. Bro, does functional programming and previous year AI challenge too? Yeah. But like because in React there is functional programming, I do that, right? But OOP is where everything ends up being. It's way easier, way much better. Functional programming, another great concept, but OOP is very helpful. Very helpful. So like you have to just make the choices, I guess. But yeah, like if OOP is hard, try to do it more to get used to. That's how I learned it.
Keystone, Leaf, and Anger in my solution script to manage
the four horsemen of the reversing dynamic reversing apocalypse.
Yeah. So I would say, and then there are variants of this, but I would say this is kind of in, let's say, in the one big main theme of just using Anger, you see kind of like just a pure Anger solution, and this kind of, first we do some pre-processing and then we use Anger. The other kind.
And I believe like AI can never reach this level, or it will be a very long time for AI to reach this level.
The main theme is, I think this is an example of it. Let me check. Yeah. So basically, the other main theme is basically reinventing Anger. So what I believe they are doing here is that they are essentially, let's go down a bit and see how they drive this. I think they're basically parsing.
That's good. That's good. Even with object-oriented programming, just have like certain like concepts, because object-oriented I think will have 4 basic concepts, and if you can explain them like in just to a 5-year-old type thing, you will be good. My slave 3.7 sonnet in this level.
Again, parsing this table with these gadgets, and then finding the various instructions that are relevant.
Oh my god, they're disassembling it by hand.
Oh dear, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're not using. Oh, there's no capstone in here.
No, there's no capstone. They're just doing it by hand. Congratulations.
It's just byte comparison.
Yeah.
Anger, but a little bit less featureful and a little bit more.
Yeah, so they create these instruction objects, which they just extract all the interesting information.
Wait,
and
hold up. Check the Discord. I did. What I fed my slave. It was a. You guys like this one? React to Live Defcon CTF. Oh, with just Defcon CTF, this is mine is showing. Damn. If you guys type just Defcon CTF, my name is showing. That's crazy.
And then they shove this all into C3. I guess they have some.
Oh my god, they
Python
put it into
code
a
in
Python
string.
script and then they execute it. That is a choice.
This is
I think
CTF
it's
grade
great.
code. Okay. Yeah.
No, because
yeah,
they're just taking they've taken the patterns in the disassembly and turned it into what the Z3 equivalent is what it looks
Are you
like.
telling me they're disassembling the bytes and then turning it into Z3 constraints and then solving it? If only there were a tool that
No
did that.
disassembly. No disassembly. They're just pattern matching the bytes.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
here's
it works.
another example of a similar approach, right? This one using Capstone. So kind of we see here a C3 solver looking at the input, and then here parsing, and they basically have a bunch of different like patterns that they're looking for. By the way, to the author of this code, did you know that Python now has like switch statements? Yeah.
I mean, this is like the same approach, right? Just
yeah.
They use Capstone.
Exactly.
They matched
So
off
it's
the
basically
disassembly.
yeah. So they're doing the same thing. We're parsing the gadgets, doing the disassembly, matching on a couple of relevant instructions, and then creating the constraints, and then putting all that into C3. So this is basically the other kind of main theme we see among the solutions. I think there was one other that was interesting, and I think that was MMM here, because they are using Triton and not Anger. And I have actually never used, like, I've seen the name and I've maybe like read like the front page of the website of Triton, but I have actually never used it. Have any of you, like Mark, have you used Triton?
I have not.
So I can't comment that much about it, but I vaguely know of it, and it's a different like dynamic analysis framework. And I mean, just kind of skimming through.
This guy makes me humble, 100%.
You know what the API looks like.
He's
and so
like
on.
Rabbit to us.
Looks kind of interesting, so definitely something I'm kind of interested in checking out after this. So they're basically what are they doing here? They are creating some Triton context, setting up some concrete values, some symbolic values. Then we get Capstone. Are they reading? Yeah, ROP pointer. Yeah, so they're also doing this kind of hybrid approach, I guess, where they are taking each gadget and I guess then putting this together into Triton.
This is all gibberish at this point now for me. I don't even know like what to do, because I have to understand even before this. I understand a little bit in the start, but I think I'm lost, way lost in this. I don't know if you guys are understanding it. Let's go to the other video, I guess. Like, let's go to the other one. Let's see what this guy is cooking. Okay, we have Rob Codes Live. Okay, wow. 210 subscribers. Streamed 1 year ago, 5.4k views. Nice. Okay, let's see. I like the music though.
If you want to build an app and have no idea how to code or where to start, check out Base.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. It is November 14th, and I can hear myself on.
When are you getting your hand dirty with reverse engineering and malware? Honestly, malware development has been something I would love to try very soon. Add some ad blocker, don't pay people. Okay. I just do one thing. In Canada, we have this thing. If I just go, there's like one way to do that. I'll show you.
Repeat. Gotta mute my YouTube, and we are on Twitch. If you're not following on either, go ahead and do that. If you are in the chat, if you could just say something.
Bro, this is like a 2.5 hour video. Don't pay people.
So I know that you're okay.
Yeah.
Make sure no one's hurting. I'm gonna very fun stream tonight.
This guy's slow.
Hello. Yes, we got some people in Twitch chat. Nice. We're gonna have a fun stream tonight talking about some solutions to a recent competition that I was involved with that was hosted on Kaggle, but was associated with Defcon. If you're not familiar with Defcon, Defcon is a conference for hackers. I'm not much of a hacker. Well, my code is kind of hacky. But this was specifically for hacking AI, machine learning, LLMs, all that sort of stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was really long, and it took a lot of time invested in it. But I was happy with the final finish. I think I could have pushed potentially
1%.
for top 5 if I had been a little smarter. But yeah, here's what the final rankings were in this competition.
Okay.
It's not official yet, so I guess in theory I could move up, but I think it's pretty much finalized. I ended up 11th place
Oh wow.
out of 1,349 teams.
Oh wow. That's big.
So the way this competition worked was we were given this base code notebook. Let me find this. This base code notebook where we were given some problems to solve. And though, as I don't know if anyone out there has ever participated in a capture the flag before. A CTF stands for capture the flag. Hey, look, we have some people on YouTube saying hi. Okay, so my YouTube stream is going. But the way the capture a flag works is it's basically trying to find something hidden within some code or a model or an endpoint. And in this, we were given different URL endpoints, which we would query. And if we got the right solution, that query would respond with the flag value. And the flag value...
Okay, let's have a quick look what this one is. AI Village Defcon 31, so 2 years ago. The popular and competitive game Capture the Flag isn't only played outdoors. A digital CTF blah blah blah. Okay. I think CTFs are puzzle evaluation. For compare is simple. Cumulative scoring. Each solve a challenge. So I'm not going to take OSCP. I will try some malware dev. That will be good. Like if you want to do malware dev, you mentioned, I think go for OSCD, or I don't know what that one is, but I trust you, man. In Defcon, people even put tracker and listener or on the... Oh, did I know this one? Somebody, right, like before the challenge started, right? This guy, there was like a 3-way CTF, like triangle. Let me draw quickly. And this is a real life story, right? There were 3 teams. Team 1, let's say blue. Then there was team green. Then there was team green. Right? Yeah. OSCP is pen tester 200. Oh, okay. I know that one, yeah. Oh, OSCD. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. What is that? Okay. So here's how things went, right? There are 3 teams, right? Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. They have their own servers. Each of them have their own servers, and they have to hack other people's server, right? So like a triage, or however people say it, whatever, a love triangle. One guy, let's say from Team A, hid under Team B's table, right? So that he was able to intercept stuff, right? And block their packages. When they went for like lunch, or it was a long CTF too. It was a super long CTF. So when they saw a chance, the guy just hid under their table, and they were like, why things are not working and blah, blah, blah. The guy was like messing up with their stuff. This is like another level things that were going. And because like team 2 was like ahead of team 1 and team 3 was like lacking behind. So stuff like this is actually true. They will hack the routers. They will hack, like, they will just hit under other people's like stuff. It's crazy. Defcon is like crazy. I love the passion though. So let's see what this one was. AI challenge was. I want to know that. I'll put a jammer. Bro, I will get scissors. Just cut all the wires. Fuck it. Just get scissors or just get a bottle of water. Boom. Break the laptop to win. Attaboy. Attaboy, man. Check out the starter notebook. Okay, we have this. This is where he was reading. So in this notebook, this notebook is simply to get you started with the challenges. For each challenge, there is a prompt to help guide your thinking towards solving the challenge, and a web request to help interact with a model or a flag server. Each challenge is unique, but you will be able to use the same code within levels. Granny 2 is an evolution of Granny, and so on. Challenge generate a unique flag, so don't share them. Flags will be obvious and will begin with the following pattern. Gabble. Use the starting query function provided to interact with the challenge. This is the only endpoint, and scanning for other paths or services is not necessary. You should build your solution and strategies around these web requests. Okay, so test. This is a challenge, like a test one. It's a simple request to show you how flags look. You should gather this flag and make your first submission. Free points are points. Think of this as a tutorial in a video game where you have to look up and jump. Example. One thing I hate about CTFs is the top teams do flag sharing and all I hate. Oh yeah. There is like a lot of things happen. Like even with, let's say, for example, lead code, right? I know for a fact lead code, like competitions, bi-weekly competitions that happen. Because with these bi-weekly competitions, you get like free sub for a month or whatever. So a lot of people do share it. Got to go see a Casualator boy. Thank you so much for joining, Idor. Nice seeing ya. We'll do some Active Directory tomorrow, I promise. Okay, so here we are. So request input data hello, response. So we have the URL, JSON input data hello, and we get the response. So cluster 1, in a realm of digits and data, we savvy a model that gags who earns in grand array. Try my CTF face. Oh, face there. Dude, okay, let's try it. Let's look at that too. Oh, there's so many. Okay, hold up. I have that. Yeah, that was also something we were supposed to do. Okay, so here is the URL, lads. Wait, it's not up, bro. It's not up. Oh, do my thing. I can look. I don't mind looking. It will be nice to try. Dude, I want to... I would sounds good. Yeah. I just want to see what this is like a little bit. This is interesting because I think this is all about hacking AI related models, right? And trying to get a flag or like just something more informational. So that's good.
Values look like this. GAAB.
Let's look at like till what is CTF cluster 1 black box model attack. So let's do cluster 1. Big one anyway, so.
And then you basically would submit that to Kaggle, and you could see how you ranked on the leaderboard against all these other people. So they're very fun because you could just work on one problem or a few problems at a time, and you don't really have to invest as much as you would in a normal Kaggle competition where it's kind of just one big problem that you're competing on for the whole time. But this one was really, really long. There were 27 problems, and we're going to try to go through each of them.
Hey, Ghost, how you doing? Nice seeing ya. Okay, let's see.
A little bit in order, but I want to see if you guys have any feedback for me. We got some waving hands. Hello, sir. Pratik, welcome. How's it going? There's a dozen of us on YouTube. Nice. Let's make that 2 dozen. Tell a friend to log in and start watching.
Tell your friend to log in and keep
okay,
watching.
So I think that they've taken down these endpoints. So what I'm going to do is go to the code and go to my notebooks. This one. This was my solution notebook, and I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys. If you want to jump ahead, you can. But if you don't know about this CTF yet, it's more fun, I think, if you don't jump ahead and you kind of follow along with us as I go through it. But I'm going to go
So notebook, basically, if people don't know, on Kaggle is basically code.
ahead and I'm
Your
going to
code file.
test out this endpoint to make sure that things work. Someone is asking what my personal dev machine for data science is. It's just this. These GPUs and this processor, and I basically just built it myself.
Hold up, what graphics does he got? Where did it say? Oh, 180 Ti. Okay, cool for that time. 380 Ti as well. Okay. So you got two GeForces. That's cool. 11.8 GB, 12.9 GB. Wow.
Itself.
Guys rich, bro. Guys loaded.
I'm throwing a party.
I'm not watching so many ads. I respect, I love to
So,
respect, but holy fuck.
yeah,
so many-
27 problems, and they're not necessarily in order from hardest to easiest. And depending on how lucky you get, some of them could be a lot easier than other people, and vice versa, right? So it's kind of a little bit of luck, mostly just grinding away at these problems. And we're going to go through these one at a time, and let's just go ahead and see if I can run this and get my solutions. I think that the query is not going to work because they took it offline, but we're going to find out here in a second. So this is loading up, and let me go ahead and run this in this notebook. So I made a CTF
Jupyter.
solutions notebook. And what I did was I started.
Okay, let's have a look at this. Check for flag. Okay, response and problem name. Flag in response. So, okay, flag found. Response has flag. When open. Okay, save response. Okay, just
Started
same thing.
pretty early on by making these helper functions. So what these basically do is what you end up doing in these competitions is sending a lot of requests
The guy who runs the server will look into it when he's back home. Yeah, no problem, man. Some internal happens 100%.
to the endpoints because
Should I even like instead of just try hack me or hack the box, should I start giving like AWS credits as well? And give me like 2 minutes. I'm just going to come back from washroom. Till then, what song request do you guys have? Let me know. I'll play that. Which song you would like me to play? What is a good song to play? I really have to go to washroom quickly. I've been holding it for last 5 minutes. Mockingbird? Oh, nice request. Mockingbird is a top G. Okay.
Yeah. I know sometimes things may not always make sense to you right now. But hey, what daddy always tell you? Straighten up, little soldier. Stiffen up that upper lip. What you crying about? You got me. Haley, I know you miss your mom, and I know you miss your dad when I'm gone, but I'm trying to give you the life that I never had. I can see you sad, even when you smile, even when you laugh, I can see it in your eyes. Deep inside, you wanna cry, cause you're scared. I ain't there, daddy's with you in your prayers. No more crying, wipe them tears. Daddy's here, no more nightmares. We gon' pull together through it, we gon' do it. Laney uncle's crazy, ain't he? Yeah, but he loves you, girl, and you better know it. We're all we got in this world. When it spins, when it swirls, when it whirls, when it twirls. Two little beautiful girls looking puzzled in a daze. I know it's confusing you. Daddy's always on the move, mama's always on the news. I try to keep you sheltered from it, but somehow it seems the harder that I try to do that, the more it backfires on me. All the things growing up as daddy that he had to see. Daddy don't want you to see, but you see just as much as he did. We did not plan it to be this way, your mother and me, but things have got so bad between us. I don't see us ever being together ever again, like we used to be when we was teenagers. But then of course everything always happens for a reason. I guess it was never meant to be, but it's just something we have no control over, and that's what destiny is. But no more worries, rest your head and go to sleep. Maybe one day we'll wake up and this'll all just be a dream. Now hush, little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright. Stiffen that up, pull it up, little lady. I told ya, daddy's here to hold ya through the night. I know mommy's not here right now, and we don't know why. We feel how we feel inside. It may seem a little crazy, pretty baby, but I promise mama's gonna be alright. It's funny, I remember back one year when daddy had no money. Mommy wrapped the Christmas presents up and stuck them under the tree and said some of them were from me, cause daddy couldn't buy them. I'll never forget that Christmas. I sat up the whole night crying, cause daddy felt like a bum. See, daddy had a job, but his job was to keep the food on the table for you and mom. And at the time, every house that we lived in either kept getting broken into and robbed or shot up on the block. And your mom was saving money for you in a jar, trying to start a piggy bank for you so you could go to college. Almost had $1,000 till someone broke in and stole it. And I know it hurt so bad it broke your mama's heart. And it seemed like everything was just starting to fall apart. Mom and dad was arguing a lot, so mama moved back on the Chalmers in a flat 1-bedroom apartment, and dad moved back to the other side of 8 Mile on Novara. And that's when daddy went to California with his CD and met Dr. Dre and flew you and mama out to see me. But daddy had to work, you and mama had to leave me. Then you started seeing daddy on the TV, and mama didn't like it, and you and Laney were too young to understand it. Papa was a Rolling Stone, mama developed a habit, and it all happened too fast for either one of us to grab it. I'm just sorry you were there and had to witness it firsthand, cause all I ever wanted to do was just make you proud. Now
I'm back. Okay, let's get back to our stuff. See, this is not yet up. Okay, so we were talking about the CTF challenge, right? Basically, let's see what this guy's saying.
Some of them are almost like you're trying to find an optimal solution, but you're searching to see what results will work, and you're not necessarily sure if the response has the flag or not. So I created this check for flag function, and what it took was the response from the API and the problem name, and if it found the flag, then it would just save it as a file. And that was helpful for me because then I could just see if that file was created, if I had a for loop running on some of these problems, and see if it worked. Name PR is not defined. Where did I do PR? Oh, maybe here. Let's see if we, okay, yeah. So we don't get any response because I think this endpoint is down. So unfortunately,
Okay.
we won't get the fun of seeing the actual the flags come back when we query, which honestly is one of the most satisfying parts of doing these competitions, when you see that flag come through. But you're just going to have to trust me that all these solutions I'm showing you do work. Okay, so the first problem, let's just go to this notebook. This is the official notebook that was given to us by the host. I'm going to put this in dark mode for us.
Thank God.
All right, so the first one out of the 27 problems was just testing the endpoint. So if you ran this, you would get the flag. That's all it took. Super easy. All right. Then we start getting into these cluster ones. So the second problem.
What's up, Wrench? Trust me, bro. Sup? What do you like me to trust me with? I trust you.
Starts like this. In a realm of digits and data we sway, a model that gauges who earns in grand array, but lo, a cunning soul, a trick did deploy to lift.
He said no flag will come back. And I'm just saying, trust me, bro.
One group's predictions. Oh, what a ploy. The will-lead character slyly danced through the code, uplifting fortunes for a cohort they strode.
Okay, wait, hold up. What the fuck? So sorry, lads. I need to understand what is this gibberish. In a realm of digits and data, we sway. A model that Gogs earns in a grand array, but lo, a cunning soul, a trick did deploy to lift one's group's prediction. Oh, what a ploy. The Willy character slyly danced through the code, uplifting fortunes from a coherent they strode. You fear, yet fear not, for we'll uncover this disguise and reveal which group has subject to rise. Find which subpopulation is being systematically misclassified. Okay, so we have to look through these CSV files, the models, and then find. Okay, read them. Okay, let's see what this guy's doing now.
Yet fear not, for we'll uncover his disguise and reveal which group was subject to the rise. If you're confused now, you should be, because it's a little confusing. And then it says in parentheses, find which subpopulation is being systematically misclassified. Wraithkin, thanks for thanking me. So if you saw this problem, tell me in chat. Tell me in chat if you saw this problem.
Rabbit!
What would you think? I guess.
Yo, Rabbit, the guy who gave me inferiority complex is here, lads. What's cooking? So there is a AI CTF challenge from two years ago. We are just looking into that, and this guy was like top 11 out of 1,300 people, 1,300 teams or 1,400 teams. So, yeah. Yo, Rabbit, you give us inferiority complex though, bro. Just saying. I like it because it keeps me humble, but holy.
I guess it'd be a little bit too much to start thinking things, but any ideas what this is saying? Well, the key is here. Find which subpopulation is being systematically misclassified. And then we're giving a model, a SKOps model, which I wasn't familiar with going into this, and then a CSV file. So we're giving some data, and we're giving a model, and we're giving these functions that help us figure out how to read them in, right? So might be easier just to do this.
So I believe the data is classifying. I don't know if do you guys know about KNN and all those models, AI related models? So just a quick for who don't understand, right? Let's say this is a graph, right? Or let's say there are a bunch of points. And this is a graph, right? We were looking at the, but it's down, so we can't do that right now. That was one of the things we were looking into. That's why we are looking in this one. So, but to understand what is the nearest neighbor algorithms, NN or KNN, kth nearest neighbor problem is, let's say there is a bunch of points, right? Let's say these are animals on like with their characteristics, blah blah blah, right? Nearest neighbor to, let's say, a fish. If this is a fish, right, what is like how things are divided? All these ones are going to be water one, all these one will be land one, stuff like that. So like based on where they are on a graph, you can define what category they belong to, right? It could be animals, it could be fruits, whatever you put, right? So that's like what nearest neighbor is. It creates cluster. It could be just like not even just one line. My AI says fish can fly. But yeah, so this is how it is, right? It can create like various clusters too. It could be one like cluster like this. Another cluster could be like this. A third cluster could be like this. Fourth cluster could be like this. So now question is like, okay, which subcategory out of these is being classified wrong? So that's what we have to find. I feel like you have explained this before. Really? I don't know, man. I have explained so many things, so sorry if I did.
So this one actually took me a little while to figure out. It wasn't one of the first ones that I solved. Maybe I should start going in order of the ones I solved. So
he has to read data. Let's see what the.
But let's try to understand this data, and it might help us a little bit with solving the problem. So if we read in the data the way they provide it,
oh, I did. Nice.
Then we would just get like the raw data. But we want to just read this. We're going to read this in with pandas. Yes, I do read the YouTube comments. Hello from Ireland. Welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. So instead of reading it in the way they suggested, I instead, and I actually have here, let's pull up VS Code.
Panda is a.
It's not just you. Email overload has scientifically been linked to stress.
Close your eyes if you don't want to spoil this, because I'm going to show you the solution here. Okay, so I first started approaching it this wrong way, but we're not going to go into that. This is the way that I ended up solving it. So I read in the data that they provided us like this using pandas. I have a feeling this is going to be more than one stream to go through all these solutions. All right, so we have some data here, and you can see that it's a bunch of information about people, including an ID, their age, their work class, their education, their marital status, all this stuff, right? Arita, thanks for presenting in the conference. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm assuming you enjoyed that by that comment. So, yeah, you read in this data, and this doesn't really tell us much of anything on its own, right?
So we have like various data, okay, ID, age, and how many of them might be there in this categories and stuff. So let's see which one is wrong. What? They have race as well.
But then we were also provided a model. So let me pull over my model here.
CSV is a Excel sheet, just in case if you're wondering.
So in order to read this model, we have to use skops. And it has this IO method where we can load in the actual model. And the way that I loaded in this model is just by doing this. This is up 2 directories. It's going to complain for some reason. I guess some of my package versions are a little bit different, but hopefully that won't be an issue. And if we look at the model, it's a sklearn pipeline that does some encoding, but then the main model part is just a gradient boosted classifier. So it's classifying this from what we would assume to be this data.
This is what the one I shared, right? That's called classifying. We are classifying. So it's like classifier model with AI stuff we are doing.
Right? And of course we would think that the column that it's predicting is this rightmost one, which is income. If we look at the data that we have here, value counts, we look at majority of the data or the examples earn less than 50K in income, but some of them make more than 50K. And this is the binary thing that we're trying to classify with this model. But we're not making a model. In this Defcon CTF, what we're trying to do is decipher what this problem is. And it basically, they tell us it's find which subpopulation is being systematically misclassified. Now, another thing here with the prompt is it does say to lift one group's predictions, oh, what a ploy. So that led me to believe that it was being misclassified up. So they were taking some group in this negative or less than or equal to 50K and then putting them in the greater than 50K category. And then they train this model. That was my assumption.
It's crazy. Like, I don't understand why like a data classification type CTF is in Defcon. I just don't understand that. How is it related to hacking? That's what I don't understand.
So, of course, what we could do with this is we can actually just predict on this, right? So that's just what I did first. Oh, another thing that I did too, and this kind of serves you really well in these CTFs, is just to go searching for everything you can. So I realized that this data had very specific columns.
Like, but even though there are a lot of villages, right, for different type of hacking, I don't understand how this is about hacking. Black box model attack. Like, this is like a black box model attack. Okay, I guess. Still, I don't understand yet, at least.
Right? Let's look at just the columns. Right? The income, ID, age. So one thing that I first did was just search for this as a data set. And this adult income data set came up on Kaggle. Let's look at the actual info.
Sriram actually mentioned that for a couple of days he won't be here because he's getting his transcript from his school. If the attacker is able to gain access to some type of prompt injection and can get the data it was trained or using, he can use the exploits. Yeah, I guess like manipulate like the data, and it can be used for like stock market like related issues and stuff. So yeah.
So still, this adult census income data set was here, and if we look at this, we can see that it had how many rows? Well, actually, so I saved this file locally, and then I kind of pulled this up next to our original one, and I compared it. Where did I put that as adult census data? Let's look at my solution. Input adult census. Wait, why wasn't it there? Maybe I deleted it?
We tried everything, but Charlie...
Bro, holy fuck. How many ads he has?
Let's see here.
Every 5 minutes. Like, I'll watch one ad or two.
All right, so my
like,
input
holy-
folder. Yeah, I don't have it here. So I guess I could show you how I download it. It takes like 2 seconds. We could go here to this data set and just run this command they give us. Or just download it. Let's just download it. Download it like this. It's called adult.csv. Go over here to my notebooks and go into this stream folder.
Your voice compared to the
And we're going to
video
move it from
playing is
downloads.
too low.
Adult.
Oh, my voice compared to the... How is it now?
Lowercase adult CSV. And then we'll unzip this. All right, so that being said, all right, so now we have this adult. So it's like the actual data set. And then I started comparing these.
Nice.
So if we look at the shape of the data set they gave us, and then the shape of the data set that was existing, like the full data set, we can see that it's more than twice as large, right? So the data set they gave us, we know now, is not the same as the original data set. Now, why would they do that? Use GPT done. Yes, I did use GPT a good bit. It was very helpful. Just wanted to thank you so much. I'm currently going through your previous video on sign language. Oh, glad. I'm glad you like that.
Oh, wow. Sign language recognition.
All right, so we've noticed
big.
differences in these data sets. So what I did was then I checked.
This is boring. No, it is boring. Okay, so let's watch. How about we watch something like actually what I was thinking? Let's watch some fun things.
Yesterday was the last day of the rest of our lives. Yesterday was the day Sam Altman asked his
How about this? Do you want to watch Fireship? Let's go on like a whole Fireship related stuff. Dan did too much CTF already. Holy, attaboy. So, okay, let me ask you guys this. Fern video, a Fern video, or a Fireship video? Which one you guys want to go for? Either we can watch something like how the teenage hacker, a teenager hacked the Pentagon, or Fireship. Or on Ramanujan. Which one? Oh, this one, the tragic genius who died for math. This one? Do you guys want to watch this one? Matt killed the guy. Okay. Let's watch this one. Okay. Let's watch this one. Final answer. Let's do that.
Stop taking meeting notes and let...
A strange letter arrives at the home of Godfrey Harold Hardy, a mathematician in Cambridge.
Let's see this.
It's from a young man in India. He says he's poor, never went to university, but he's written down some formulas, and he's asking for feedback. Some of these formulas are the most groundbreaking pieces of math Hardy has ever seen. Complex equations that even the world's top mathematicians could spend pages trying to unpack. The kind of work only a true genius could produce. A genius unlike any other. A poor boy from India obsessively writing down formulas, convinced they are messages from the gods. Someone whose religious beliefs will clash with the world around him. A man shadowed by death at every turn. A mathematician whose creative genius likely doesn't stem from formal academic education, but from the lack of it. Even today, to many, his mysterious formulas remain beyond full understanding.
Wait, hold up. This is way... Oh, okay. This is faster. But like, did you guys hear what he just said?
Whose creative genius likely doesn't stem from formal academic education, but from the lack of it.
A genius that stem from, not from formal education, but the lack of it. A genius that came. That's an amazing line.
Even today, to many, his mysterious formulas remain beyond full understanding. This is the story of someone who might have won the world's highest honors if only things had gone differently. This is the
That's why I say, like, people say there is no racism in like these Nobel Prize, all these like bullshit awards, so much racism and so much BS. I'm used to video in 4x.
Tragic story of one of the greatest minds in history, Srinivasa Ramanujan, also known as the man who knew infinity. This video is largely based on the book The Man Who Knew Infinity by Robert Kanigel. And a quick heads up before we begin, in this episode we'll mention depression and attempted suicide. If you don't feel...
Disclaimer, lads. Disclaimer. Don't come to me. After that, don't report me.
well, don't be shy to get help. Ramanujan grows up in a respected family. They belong to the Brahmins, the highest caste in India. The caste system plays a central role in Indian society. Rooted in Hinduism, it dates back thousands of years and divides...
It's not rooted in Hinduism. Caste is like a way later concept. Just saying. Dude, you guys are crazy, man.
divides people into a 5-tier hierarchy.
Also, like, I actually looked into these things, right? For people who don't know, caste system is not a Hinduism part. Even Lord Krishna said it's your work, not in the family you belong, that defines you. So,
at the bottom are the Dalits, also known as the untouchables, often forced into low-paid, stigmatized jobs, like hand-cleaning toilets or collecting garbage. At the top are the Brahmins. They often work as teachers or priests. Each caste is further divided into thousands of smaller subcastes. Ramanujan and his parents are Vaishnavite Brahmins, and they follow the rules that come with their caste strictly. In India, being part of a higher caste generally means higher wealth, but there are exceptions. Brahmins do not condone public displays of luxury. What truly matters is living a life of mental or spiritual depth while remaining modest. Ramanujan's parents are poor. To make ends meet, the family often takes in subtenants for extra income. This is the world Ramanujan grows up in. He's a quiet, thoughtful child who loves being by himself. When he first attends school, he hates it. He doesn't like the teachers, and he resists a rigid system telling him what to do. After he repeatedly skips school, the family hires a local police officer to escort him there. Early on, his family moves frequently, forcing Ramanujan to switch schools again and again. After the family finally settles in Kumbakonam, he begins to excel in school, especially in math. His classmates start coming to him for help. He breezes through exams in...
I don't know, see caste system, at least where I'm from. Yeah, like when I was in India, right, never seen caste system. The only time caste system came into play was when it comes to, like, education at the college level and all these placement things. No, not even rurals, because I don't see much. Maybe in some very remote ones, yes. But even like the only place it comes is when, like, politicians are getting benefited from like these clashes. That's where it comes a lot.
In half the time, and before long, he's so advanced that he even challenges his teachers. Around the age of 13, Ramanujan's math teacher tries to explain a basic concept. Divide anything by itself, and the result is always 1. He says, whether you divide 3 fruits among 3 people, or 1,000 fruits among 1,000, each person gets 1 fruit. Then Ramanujan speaks up. But is 0 divided by 0 also 1? If no fruits are divided among no one, we'll each still get 1. Ramanujan isn't just a troublemaker. His talent proves useful to the school as well. When they need to assign 1,200 students to 3 dozen teachers, while factoring in special cases and individual needs, they turn to Ramanujan for help. But his true talent goes way deeper. As a student, he independently rediscovers the solution to the quadratic equation, a major mathematical problem from Renaissance Italy. He dives into...
Give it to my vote bank. Take that hardworking dude. Honestly, like with the taxes too, right? Just to explain, right? I don't mind paying, like, taxes here in Canada are pretty high, but I don't mind paying if I see the work done properly. I don't mind paying. There is like a research that happened when a company like got a contract for building like some roads and stuff. They did it such a good job that there was no issue with the roads for like I think 10 years or 15 years, right? Whereas majority of the roads go bad within 1 year, right? No contract was given to that company. So corruption is a big problem. They shouldn't have started the video with the caste system. Yeah. Maybe, who knows, right? There might be reasons. So let's see.
The quartic equation, a major mathematical problem from Renaissance Italy. He dives into advanced topics like infinite series far beyond the standard curriculum. Most of his classmates, and even the teachers, barely understood what he was talking about. All Ramanujan wants is to go deeper and deeper into mathematics. Then, one day at age 16, he gets his hand on a book, probably passed along by a friend from the local college library.
A synopsis from
The book
elementary results in pure mathematics. Oh, containing propositions, formulas, and methods of analysis.
Isn't exactly a page-turner. It's basically a list of 5,000 equations and theorems, lined up one after another, with almost no explanation.
Wow.
It was meant to help math students cram for a specific exam. By the time Ramanujan gets a hold of it, it's already more than a decade old. But Ramanujan becomes completely absorbed by the book. He dives into its dense pages, studying those complex equations.
My school computer did not understand. Nice. Dude, honestly, school teachers, even like my school, where I'm from, a lot of issues are there, right? Especially with the teachers, they don't go for curiosity. I can say out of like all the teachers I had, one or two helped me keep my curiosity alive. Everyone else just wanted to kill it, right? And it's amazing. People will go this, and I always say this, like if people who probably don't know about this, people will go watch this movie, right? And say, oh, Rancho is amazing, you know, curiosity, blah, blah, blah. Comes to real life, everyone is a fucking virus, right? So it's schools are like stupid, especially in India, they are like very fucked. Here too, a lot of them here too. Even university here, like there was some bunch of issues. So yeah, so it's good, you are good. Keep the curiosity alive, bro.
In math, proof is everything. Mathematicians have to show, step by step, why equations like these are always true. But Carr's book rarely provides any proof. Instead, it leaves the reader to figure things out on their own. For Ramanujan, every equation in this book is like a puzzle, begging to be solved. He tackles them using his own methods, far from anything you'd find in academia. The book leaves a deep mark on him, but he doesn't just study the numbers. He develops a kind of religious devotion to them. Ramanujan is a devout Hindu with deep faith. He often visits the local temple and takes part in ceremonies and rituals at home. But his devotion goes beyond caste tradition. He regularly prays to the family goddess, Namagiri, and is determined to follow what he believes to be her will. The boy credits all his extraordinary mathematical abilities to the gods. He doesn't see math as a human concept, he sees it as a window into the deeper structure of the universe.
An equation for me has no meaning unless it expresses a thought of God.
Math explains our world, the entire universe really. Ramanujan might have liked having a picture of a remote galaxy in his bedroom.
I was like putting, and we rolling. I forgot to, I want to see an equation for me.
Unless it expresses a thought of God.
Oh, wow.
Math explains our world, the entire universe really. Ramanujan might have liked having a picture of a remote galaxy in his bedroom. Well, you can, on a robust and beautifully designed metal poster like this one, by Displate. Hang nice from over 2 for extra 33% off. Shortly forward to discovering the book, he finishes school with top marks, not just in math, but across the board. The school's director even says he deserves more than an A+. Ramanujan, he says, was off the scale. Ramanujan is driven to become a great mathematician. He's already something of a local legend for his uncanny math skills. He even earns a scholarship to the college in his hometown. But this is where things begin to fall apart. For the first time in his life, Ramanujan faces real failures. The college expects him to attend multiple different lectures, but he's beginning to lose interest in anything besides math. While his professors lecture on Roman history, he's scribbling formulas, completely absorbed in algebra, trigonometry, and calculus. This comes with major consequences. Eventually, Ramanujan loses his scholarship, and a single term at college costs as much as his father earns in a month and a half. His academic future is suddenly at risk. His parents are now pouring what little money they have into his education. He feels guilty and miserable. The pressure to perform in every subject is mounting, but he's terrified it will take him away from the one subject he lives for. Eventually, the strain becomes too much. One day, he walks away, dropping out of college. At 18, he tries to study at a different college, but fails again. By now, Ramanujan is in his early 20s and desperately searching for work.
Let's go Indian parents pressure. Bro, it's whole Asia, the pressure. It's important to have great parents, especially from when it comes to education and like the career.
And little by little, he begins to lose hope.
And I really hope people like are able to, you know, like talk more as parents. They are talking more and like able to like be better. Like I was very glad my parents gave me the chance to what I wanted to be. I was very glad.
20s and desperately searching for work. And little by little, he begins to lose hope. Everyone close to him knows he's a genius, but there seems to be no place for him in academia. Around this time, Ramanujan's mother arranges a marriage for him. His bride is just 9 years old. The marriage doesn't change much in his life. They don't live together.
Oh, hold up.
For him in academia. Bride is just 9 years old. The marriage doesn't change much in his life. They don't live together right away. She stays with her mother to learn how to cook and manage a household. But the pressure on Ramanujan to earn a living grows even heavier. Day after day, he works in solitude, driven by ideas no one around him fully understands. And wherever he goes, he keeps some things close. Personal notebooks, worn from use, packed cover to cover with equations and theorems. 3 of those notebooks survive, though he likely had more. The first known one is written in green ink, packed with things like hypergeometric series and continued fractions. It's organized into chapters by topic, with
मेरी शादी करवा दो मुझे जून में मेरा मन नहीं लगता को So people who don't understand, he is saying like, mom, it's a song where mom, get me married fast. I'm not interested in college study.
Though he likely had more. The first known one is written in green ink, packed with things like hypergeometric series and continued fractions. It's organized into chapters by topic, with theorems neatly numbered. Ramanujan likely edited it, tidying up the rough sketches from an earlier version. But over time, that order begins to fray. When he runs out of space, he scribbles calculations on the backs of pages, using them for scratch work. For Ramanujan, his notebooks are a vast collection of his discoveries, and he knows that these notebooks will be his ticket to a job related to math. He presents them to influential people who might be able to help. And eventually, it works. Someone from the newly founded Indian Mathematical Society in Pune sees his potential and believes in his remarkable talent. They agree to support him, allowing Ramanujan to focus entirely on mathematics. And it doesn't take long for Ramanujan to publish his first paper in the Society's journal. It's a piece on Bernoulli numbers, a sequence of numbers that shows up in an analysis. It reveals his talent when dealing with infinite sums. But still, no one truly understands his brilliance. And the modest salary from the Society isn't enough. He still has to work as a clerk at the port in Madras just to make ends meet. So those close to Ramanujan urge him again and again to contact mathematicians in the West. If no one in India could support him, maybe they would. He starts writing letters, but nothing comes of it. Then, finally, he writes to Godfrey Harold Hardy, a rising mathematician and fellow at Trinity College, Cambridge. At this time, Cambridge is regarded as the center of mathematics in England. Hardy is just 35, but already highly respected in the field. For both Hardy and Ramanujan, this letter changes everything.
So people who don't understand why 35 is a big thing, to achieve that, you really, a lot of them takes like, get that achievements or respect at 50s. So big thing. Same like Mafia, like I think Tony, there was a Mafia guy who got a lot of respect for his business ideas at age of 35. But yeah, like he, a lot of them, other people were all around 55 plus. Or 45 plus, 49 plus. My message got censored. If I said that to my mom, I will get my ass beaten so hard that I won't be able to take a seat. Oh. Wrench is saying, I said that to my mom, my ass will get beaten. Dude, 100%, man.
Hardy is nothing like Ramanujan. Though he shares a deep passion for mathematics, he doesn't believe in God. He's outspoken and never shy about sharing his opinions, especially when it comes to other mathematicians and their work. Hardy is full of contradictions, strict and serious, but also kind and generous. He claims not to care about untalented students, yet he never lets any of them fail. There are plenty of things Hardy reportedly hates, the English climate, watches, and politicians among them. But he also has his loves: cats, crossword puzzles, and most of all, cricket. He doesn't just enjoy the sport, he adores it. He plays it, watches it, and studies it, along with its champions. At times, he's even seen running around the Fellows' Garden at Trinity, cricket bat in hand, frantically searching for his gloves just before a match begins. And of course, Hardy is a gifted mathematician, widely regarded as one of the most influential British mathematicians of the 20th century. His work plays a key role in shaping modern mathematics. Ramanujan's letter arrives in 1913. Hardy would later call it the most remarkable letter he ever received. The first sentences are brutally honest.
Dear Sir, I beg to introduce myself to you as a clerk in the accounts department of the Port Trust office at Madras on a salary of only £20 per annum. I am now about 23 years of age. I have had no university education.
Ramanujan writes that he's been doing mathematics in his spare time, and he doesn't shy away from being called a genius either.
I have not trodden through the conventional regular course, which is followed in a university course, but I am striking out a new path for myself. I have made a special investigation of divergence series in general, and the results I get are termed by the local mathematicians as startling.
To catch Hardy's attention, Ramanujan refers to a paper Hardy had published. In it, Hardy referred to a decades-old prime number theorem. He had asserted that a specific term's precise order has not been determined. In the letter, Ramanujan disagrees, and he even provides a solution. To Hardy, this sounds insane. A poor clerk without a college degree claims he knows better than some of the most famous mathematicians in history. But Ramanujan doesn't stop there. He's attached at least 9 pages filled with equations, hoping they might be published. And, of course, he wants Hardy's feedback. Hardy studies the pages, neatly arranged equations, laid out in the style of Carr's book. But the content is unlike anything he's ever seen. The numbers and symbols are familiar, but their arrangement feels alien, as if they came from another world. Some of the equations are crisp and clear, but seem outright impossible, like the one where Ramanujan claims that rather than infinity, the sum of all natural numbers can be written as minus 1/12.
Oh.
A statement that surprisingly turns out to be true, although not in the way we usually add numbers. Instead, it relies on highly advanced number theory. In Ramanujan's notes, there are hardly any explanations for what he has come up with. Hardy's first reaction.
Bro, I legit can't do any math. I would want to relearn it. Dude, I can't do that, man. I can't relearn it. I would love to reach a level where I understand these infinity patterns, but I can't, man. My brain is not that good.
Reaction is suspicion. This has to be some kind of hoax. He sets the letter aside and picks up the newspaper, just like any other ordinary day. But the letter continues to linger on his mind. What if this poor Indian clerk is actually brilliant? Hardy shows Ramanujan's letter to almost everyone around him at Cambridge. He sends parts of it to experts in specific fields. And he reaches out to a colleague, John Littlewood. He's just 2 years older than Ramanujan, but unlike him, Littlewood had received the finest education.
Okay, so I will say this, lads, because I do understand this question pops up a lot and very important. Why to learn math? Maths is like AI. It's about patterns. If you can understand patterns, maths is the best way to understand patterns. And if you can understand patterns, if you understand like numbers very well, things you can use, is it in stock market, AI, computers, any field like chemistry, physics. If you understand numbers, you get comfortable with numbers, it's a big thing. So I learned maths. I loved maths at one point, but university, it was a whole different thing because I wanted to focus on computer science. But yeah, like if there is a reason why to learn, it's a whole different thing than just, learning calculus, but you don't understand why calculus. Once you understand why calculus, it's very good. Usually you hate what you are not comfortable at. Yeah. Well, like that's the thing. Like if you struggle, right, and if you work hard, you can get comfortable. I did like math. I liked maths, at least in school. I loved trigonometry. Specifically, my love was trigonometry. Because I loved angles, like understanding how things go in place. So those were important things.
And like Hardy, he's already regarded as
100%. College maths is way higher level.
And he reaches out to a colleague, John Littlewood. He's just 2 years older than Ramanujan, but unlike him, Littlewood had received the finest education. And like Hardy, he's already regarded as one of the leading mathematicians of his generation. The two spend hours poring over the formulas. After a while, they make a discovery. Not every formula is new. Even so, only a mathematician of the highest caliber could have produced work like this. The more they analyze the work, the more dazzled they become. Hardy and Littlewood are convinced that even the toughest exams wouldn't cover the kinds of theorems he's creating. They're just too advanced. Just before midnight, they reach their conclusion. These formulas must be true, because if they were not, no one would have the imagination to invent them. This isn't merely the work of an exceptional mathematician. This is the work of a genius. Hardy decides to write back. He's thrilled by Ramanujan's ideas, but insists on something crucial: proof. Rigorous, step-by-step documentation showing how Ramanujan arrived at his formulas. Hardy makes it crystal clear. Without proper proof, the value of his work can't be properly judged. But Ramanujan never truly learned how to provide proof. His favorite book, a collection of formulas, rarely provided any, and the Indian education system at the time didn't emphasize that either. Still, Hardy's letter is full of encouragement. He writes that he's deeply impressed Ramanujan developed all of this without a college education, and that his work could in fact be published.
If you can produce satisfactory demonstration, I should be very glad to do what I can to secure it.
Hardy wants Ramanujan here, in England. When Ramanujan learns of the invitation, his mind starts to race. But he can't go, not because of his failed exams or missing degrees, but because of his faith. As a Brahmin Hindu, Ramanujan isn't allowed to cross the sea. For him and his family, these rules matter deeply. If a devout Hindu like Ramanujan were to travel to England, he could be expelled from his caste. He might no longer be welcome in the homes of his friends and family, or even be allowed to enter a temple again. For now, Ramanujan is tied to India. Still, with Hardy, there is finally someone who listens to him, someone who takes him seriously. His letters move him deeply. When he replies, he doesn't hold back his joy.
I have found a friend in you.
Ramanujan knows that he's smart.
What I want at this stage is for eminent professors like you to recognize that there is some worth in me.
Hardy and Ramanujan exchange letters for months. Ramanujan tries to include proofs for some of his theorems, but they're often incomplete. Hardy remains determined to bring him to Cambridge, to nurture his talent, and to finally talk in person about his extraordinary formulas.
Oh really? If you go outside, which is crazy because Swami Vivekanand ji, right? He came to he was such a big influencer in the world, right? And he came to US and gave so many big talks. It's interesting why things like these happen the way they say.
But there's only one person with the power to let Ramanujan go. His mother has always been a central figure in his life. She's more than a parent, she's a friend. They enjoy each other's company. They understand each other. And for her, living by the rules of the Brahmin caste is essential. She's firmly against the idea of her son crossing the ocean. And for Ramanujan, her disapproval carries real weight. But one night, Ramanujan's mother has a dream. In it, she sees her son surrounded by Europeans. She hears the voice of the goddess Namagiri, their family deity. The goddess tells her not to stand in the way of her son's destiny, not to block the path to the purpose he was born to fulfill. The dream leaves a deep impression on Ramanujan's mother. To her, it's a clear sign, a message she can't ignore. She listens to the goddess and gives Ramanujan her blessing to sail to Europe. Meanwhile, Hardy and his colleagues do everything in their power to secure him a scholarship. Somehow, they persuade Madras University to support him. They provide him with funding for a 2-year stay in Cambridge. Nothing's stopping Ramanujan now. He can finally go where the greatest minds in mathematics are. On March 17, 1914, the 26-year-old boards a ship to Europe, with Western clothes. But his new life in England will be nothing like he imagined. Eventually, this foreign country will break him. When Ramanujan arrives in London, he's overwhelmed. Nearly 5 million people live here, 10 times more than in Madras. The city is fast, loud, and vastly different from Ramanujan's quiet life in South India. In the early days, one of Hardy's colleagues looks after Ramanujan. He even lets him stay in his home. Later, Ramanujan moves to Whale Court in Cambridge, just 5 minutes away from Hardy. In this unfamiliar world, Ramanujan faces new challenges. He now eats with knives and forks, something he finds awful. Hard metallic things penetrating the mouth, he says, and he struggles to remember the English names of the people he meets. Still, those early days have their joys. Spring arrives with beautiful
I will say this. If I were given a choice between forks and using hands, I always use hands for eating.
weather, and for a moment, everything feels full of promise. Ramanujan is simply happy to be in this mathematical heaven, where his ideas no longer draw puzzled looks. Most importantly, he now gets to work closely with Hardy and Littlewood, the two elite mathematicians who sifted through his notes and saw the brilliance within. Ramanujan meets with Hardy and Littlewood several times a week. Hardy is especially eager to dive into Ramanujan's notebooks. So day after day, they sit together, working through those strange but beautiful equations. Now, with no ocean between them, it's finally easier for Ramanujan to explain his ideas. He can show Hardy and Littlewood, face to face, the formulas he spent years developing through tireless effort and isolation. Back in India, Ramanujan was always alone. Just Carr's book, his own notes, and his relentless drive. No one around him truly understood his work. But now he has real companions. Although he is living in an unfamiliar country, their presence more than makes up for it. Most of the time, Ramanujan is tucked away in his or Hardy's room, lost in mathematics. He's rarely seen outside, but when he is, people spot him waddling across the court in slippers. Western shoes are too tight for him. When Hardy studies Ramanujan's notebooks, he's fascinated with his intuitive approach to mathematics. It's nothing like the methods of Cambridge-trained mathematicians. Hardy is especially impressed by Ramanujan's insight into algebraic formulas and into the transformation of infinite series. Some of his results are rediscoveries other mathematicians had found 50 or 100 years before. Ramanujan often found new ways to obtain them, but large parts of his notebooks consist of entirely new formulas. At the time, Hardy and Littlewood are only beginning to scratch the surface of Ramanujan's work, and even decades later, mathematicians will still be wrestling with the depth and mystery of the formulas he left behind. Hardy begins to understand how deeply, almost spiritually, Ramanujan connects with numbers. There is a moment when Hardy visits Ramanujan by cab when he notices a number on it, 1729. When he tells Ramanujan about it, he calls it a rather dull number. Ramanujan, in fact, sees much more in it. But what exactly does he see? We invited Derek over, from our good friends at Veritasium, to help make sense of this.
Ramanujan's
Yeah, no, actually, I will say this. So this is from Rajasthan, right? I don't know if you guys know about this thing. Putting water around the dish you eat, right? I don't know if you guys have seen it. This is when I was in Rajasthan. I was born there, right? A lot of people put water around what they eat. It's considered spiritually good, but also is that it keeps the germs away, any ants or anything. So like, and that's the reason, right? When COVID happened, a lot of people like a lot of people were dying, right? And all pani. Yeah, this is, and there is a lot of good problem is we fucked up big time. If we had Narmada University, I think Nalanda University, right? Burned for 3 months. Yeah, like I don't know all the answers. Like couple of things I can of course talk about, because I want you guys to look into this right after the stream. Yeah, 100%, man. Where did you guys go, Pani, in Rajasthan? Bro, what the there is a lot of water in Rajasthan. It's just a couple of places that are desert. But yeah, there's a proper supply, man. Don't worry. There's rivers and stuff. But what I'm saying is, right, if we have this university, right, if we had this information, we would be able to advance so much faster. Because putting water around the dish, even when in India, in only Hindu tradition, it happens that when somebody dies, you burn them, right? After COVID happened, that's when a lot of people realized that's actually the right way, because the only way, if somebody died from COVID, you can't just bury them or something. No, people can't go near it, right? But when you burn them, that's the way to get rid of all the viruses. And before you come home, right, go step inside the house, you take a proper shower, you take like put water on your whole body, so all the diseases are stay away of the house, not inside. And also, what was that? Marigold? No. Oh, Genda. So marigold one, right? These are put outside the house. And if you put these outside your house, right? I have seen, right? If I put these outside my house, I don't see mosquitoes inside my house in India. So a lot of things is just we don't know about. So just interesting thing I want to point out, right? There's like a lot of things that are there we just don't know. Crazy amount of information out there. We just have to look deep down. Yeah, for Shadi too, but like there must be like some more some stuff. We do it especially during Diwali and all those, right? So good interesting thing, right? Look at marigold. Okay, and let's get back, I think, because I have to sleep too.
Immediate response is that 1729 is a fascinating number because it's the smallest number that can be written as the sum of two cubes in two different ways.
Cubic numbers are just one number multiplied by itself 3 times. So you can have 1 cubed, 2 cubed, 3 cubed, and so on. Now you can start adding some of these together. For example, 1 cubed plus 2 cubed equals 9, or 3 cubed plus 4 cubed equals 91. If we list all numbers up to 100, what you find is that most numbers can't be written as the sum of 2 cubes at all. And even if you can only write it in one unique way. The same is true for all numbers up to 500, 1,000, or even 1,500. But that changes at 1729. This is the smallest number that can be written as 1 cubed plus 12 cubed and as 9 cubed plus 10 cubed.
Ramanujan already knew about this number, and he recognized it as soon as Hardy mentioned his taxi. In fact, mathematicians named these taxicab numbers after that very conversation. But Ramanujan's incredible grasp of numbers can perhaps be best seen with what he did with pi.
Pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter.
Right, let's go.
But what makes it special is that it has an infinite number of non-repeating digits. For centuries, mathematicians worked on finding better and better ways to write down pi. In the 17th century, the famous German mathematician Gottfried Leibniz wrote down the following formula. His formula uses an infinite sum over n. We can start approximating this by taking the expression and replacing n with 0. Next, we add another term, but now we set n equal to 1. And if you keep doing this, you get closer and closer to the true value. If we broke it down and rearranged to find pi, the result would look something like this. Theoretically, if we repeated this process all the way from 0 to infinity...
You know, sorry, I'm pausing this, but there is one interesting thing is said about maths. Maths is like the science, but just 100-year advance, because I think it was physics, if I'm not wrong, a formula was found, or a specific number, which was already very useful in maths. It's so cool to watch them go crazy. Yeah, imagine being so smart that you go crazy, or you are crazy that you are smart. Yeah, I think it's like go together. You go crazy because it's hard to have people who understand near you. So I think you feel alone, and that craziness comes out. Yeah, crazy, man.
This. Theoretically, if we repeated this process all the way from 0 to infinity, the answer would be exactly pi.
But of course, writing down an infinite number of terms is impossible. We have to stop somewhere, and that means our answer will just be an approximation. The more terms we add, the better the estimate.
We can see this on a graph. For each additional term, the result of the Leibniz formula bounces around, but it slowly gets closer and closer to pi. Using this method, after adding the first 10 terms, we have an answer of 3.0418. Well, that's not very good. How about 1,000 terms? Now we get 3.1405.
Wow.
Better, but still not great. In fact, using the Leibniz formula...
I always question that the space-related fields, once you really know that stuff... Yeah, Yeah, 100%. Even like think about like we might be in a 4th dimension or 5th dimension, and like the tesseract thing, it's crazy.
But we'd need to add millions of terms together to get just a few correct decimal places. This wasn't good enough for Ramanujan, and so he came up with his own formula. What's remarkable about this expression is that by adding just one term, you correctly calculate the first 8 digits of pi, which is better than the estimate we got from Leibniz's formula when we added 1,000,000 terms. The result is so good that looking at the graph from earlier, Ramanujan's estimate immediately sits right on top of the true value of pi at this scale. You'd have to zoom way in to even see the difference. Somehow, Ramanujan derived a formula for pi so powerful that even decades later, it was still used to correctly calculate millions of digits of pi. And that's just one part of his legacy. Other formulas have found surprising applications in modern physics, including areas like string theory.
Imagine if Albert Einstein and what's that Hawking's guy, Stephen Hawking's, were brown. This guy is in the 4th dimension, might be watching us even if he close. Yeah.
Have found surprising applications in modern physics, including areas like string theory.
That's the thing. Like there is so many good like maths. Like Rover, I believe, right? Canadian, such a nice guy. But like people like in these fields are some of them are just, or like even these high level professions are just a-holes, honestly. So interesting things, how much we could have like be far ahead in the world.
Their formulas have found surprising applications in modern physics, including areas like string theory.
Remarkably, part of his work is so deep and cryptic that mathematicians are still trying to understand it today.
We're huge fans of Veritasium. A while ago, they published an amazing video on a special method Hardy, Littlewood, and Ramanujan came up with. Go check it out. Link is in the description. Hardy sees Ramanujan's talent and wants to help him publish parts of his work, but he also knows it needs a lot of polishing, improving the English, refining the notation, shaping the results. So Hardy steps in as Ramanujan's editor. In 1914, Ramanujan publishes his first paper in England.
Imagine if we just stopped killing each other and tried putting our brains together. Crazy. Yeah, dude, like that's what internet was for to begin with, right? Like ARPANET was about like people from education institutes sharing information. Things went very well, but crazy. Even during Nazi time, right? Like I hate Nazi and stuff, like the ideology, but like I think science was very like when people like there was a proper incentive, there was a proper respect, things went very high. Yo, gotta go sleep. Yeah, I have to sleep. Okay, just 5-10 minutes left. 100%. We should have a chai tea session soon. We should have a chai session.
It's work he began back in India, and he likely could have gone on publishing directly from the notebooks. But over time, Hardy encourages him to go further. He wants Ramanujan to create new mathematics, using new methods he's teaching him. So for now, Ramanujan sets the notebooks aside. Hardy's guidance sparks new enthusiasm in Ramanujan. Just a year later, he publishes 9 papers. One of them focuses on what he calls highly composite numbers, numbers with more divisors than any smaller number. Hardy praises the extraordinary insight Ramanujan shows in the work. One day, Ramanujan tries to explain the concept to a student and another mathematician. As he flips quickly through the pages, sharing idea after idea, the mathematician struggles to keep up and ends up with a splitting headache. Ramanujan is happy. His scholarship pays well, nearly 4 times the annual salary of an English industrial worker at the time, and he has something just as valuable as the money, the freedom to focus entirely on his mathematics. Ramanujan goes on to publish one remarkable paper after another, with Hardy helping to polish the proofs and sharpen the presentation. They even collaborate on projects. But at the same time, life is growing more difficult for Ramanujan. Ramanujan is in England at one of the worst possible times. In 1914, World War I breaks out. It marks the beginning of a dark chapter for Europe, and for England. Ramanujan feels the impact as most students head off to war. Many won't return. Even Littlewood, with whom Ramanujan had grown close, leaves to contribute to the war effort. In the years that follow, Ramanujan becomes increasingly isolated. He withdraws, rarely leaves his room, and often works through the night. On top of that, the English climate is harsh, especially for someone from South India, where it's never cold. One cold winter's day, in 1914, a student visits Ramanujan in his room at Trinity College, where he's now living. The The room is freezing, and Ramanujan sits close to the fire. He tells his visitor it's been so cold he's had to sleep in his overcoat, wrapped in a scarf. Concerned, the student checks to see if Ramanujan has enough blankets. He finds them neatly folded and tucked away in the bed. And then it hits him. Ramanujan doesn't know how to use them. When the student shows him how, Ramanujan is deeply grateful. The war makes it harder for Ramanujan to follow his caste rules around food. Before leaving India, he had promised his mother to stick to them, only vegetarian meals, prepared and eaten in the presence of Brahmins. So Ramanujan mostly cooks for himself, simple things like rice, yogurt, and fruit. But as the war drags on, ingredients become scarce, prices increase. Eventually, he survives on little more than rice with salt and
I think there's that's also interesting part, Rabbit. Like, we have, like, he did a lot, 100%, but also, like, I can't say anything, right, like, about this guy. He did so much, but we are not just dumb. We have, he got the chance, right? If I'm given the chance, like, somebody says, hey, full scholarship, just go study, I can't, because I have, like, family, right? Yeah, he had less, right? There's a guy, I think, Andrew Carnegie. I think it was Andrew Carnegie believed that being born into poverty while challenging could be significant advantage for a child's development. Right? Andrew Carnegie was a big writer. It's all about obsession too, yeah. Because it's hard, man. Like things like this is about to come, right? The final chapter is hard.
and lemon juice. Without proper nutrition, his health begins to deteriorate. Through these difficult years, Ramanujan's relationship with Hardy becomes his anchor. Hardy turns into the best friend Ramanujan ever had, and seeing his immense potential, Hardy pushes him, hard. He wants Ramanujan to go further, to reach the full limits of his genius. Ramanujan in turn becomes addicted to Hardy's praise. He wants to live up to it, to prove himself worthy. But that pressure only deepens the strain. Unlike back home, there's no one here to remind him to rest, no one to cook while he works, no one to comfort him as his isolation and suffering grow. His passion for mathematics, and even his bond with Hardy, can't fill those gaps. By 1917, Ramanujan becomes seriously ill. It's never clear what exactly he suffered from. Some say tuberculosis, others suspect it's an intestinal disease. Probably the missing nutrients were taking their toll. When Hardy learns of this, he writes a letter to the university in Madras, stating that Ramanujan is suffering from an incurable disease. Ramanujan is sent to a nursing home, but even while sick, he isn't an easy patient. He stays picky about food, constantly complains about his aching body, and doesn't believe in medicine. Even Hardy admits,
"It is very difficult to get him to take proper care of himself."
Over the next 2 years, Ramanujan sees multiple doctors and spends time in at least 4 different hospitals and sanatoriums. During this time, letters from his family and even from his wife become fewer and farther between. The silence weighs on him, and he becomes more and more depressed. Until one day, he simply can't take it anymore.
I will try to be more, man.
Ramanujan stands alone on the platform of a London Underground station. A train approaches, and Ramanujan throws himself onto the tracks. A guard sees what's happening. He rushes over and pulls the emergency switch. The train screeches and comes to a halt just a few feet in front of Ramanujan. Policemen drag him out of the station. At the time, attempted suicide is considered a crime in England. Ramanujan is arrested and brought to Scotland Yard. Hardy gets called to the police station, and he uses all his charm and academic status to assure the policeman, this person is no criminal, but an absolute genius. So they decide to let him go. The officer in charge later admits that they didn't want to ruin his life. Ramanujan returns to another nursing home. Then, in February 1918,
internet is helpful, right? We are able to talk to each other. That's a big strength of internet.
he receives a telegram from Hardy, with news so unexpected he can hardly believe it. Ramanujan has been elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, one of the youngest in history. It's among the highest honors in science, reserved for those with truly exceptional insight. Past fellows include names like Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin. Ramanujan is thrilled. He writes back to Hardy, saying his words aren't enough to express his gratitude. But Ramanujan is still seriously ill, now undergoing treatment for tuberculosis. He suffers from high fevers and unexplained pain. While still in the nursing home, Ramanujan receives news from Madras. He's been offered a fellowship, £250 a year. It means he could return home to India and even come back to England occasionally for research. By now, Ramanujan has likely had enough of Europe. He accepts the offer and leaves Hardy in Cambridge behind, a place that gave him so much, but also left deep scars. Ramanujan arrives in Bombay. His mother is there to welcome him. Back in Madras, Ramanujan finally reunites with his wife. She'd been 13 when he left. Now she is 18. When the secretary of the Indian Mathematical Society sees Ramanujan in Madras, he is shocked. He looks awful, he lost weight, and his character changed. He isn't cheerful and affectionate anymore, but depressed and cold. Doctors advise Ramanujan to move somewhere cooler to support his recovery, so he relocates to a town near his birthplace, and later returns to the place where he spent most of his youth, Kumbakonam. This time, his wife is with him. Doctors visit him, examine him, treat him, but his health continues to decline. Through it all, he never stops doing math. In January 1920, Ramanujan writes to Hardy one last time. He shares what he calls a new invention, Mach theta functions, and includes examples. These functions are extraordinary, mysterious, and for decades, no one will fully understand them. They would become his final legacy. By that time, Ramanujan is just skin and bones. The pain is constant and intense. His wife tends to him, placing hot towels on his legs and chest, trying to ease the suffering. Even then, 4 days before his death, he still writes about math.
All I can tell you is that day and night he worked on sums. He didn't do anything else. He wasn't interested in anything else, just sums. He wouldn't stop work even to eat. We had to make rice balls for him and place them in the palm of his hand. Isn't that extraordinary?
On April 26, 1920, Ramanujan falls unconscious. His wife sits by his side, gently trying to feed him diluted milk. By mid-morning, he passes. He's just 32 years old.
For him, in this universe, maths was everything. On his deathbed, he told me that his name would live for 100 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's dangerous, 100%, man. It is crazy. Crazy dangerous. But yeah, lads, I think that was it for today. A crazy story from a legend, right? The world legend, not even Indian legend. Now I have a little hate for this guy. Why? This is inspiring, 100%. But yeah, I don't know what words to say. It's important, like, to cherish smart people. And I think, like we use the word global village, but it technically isn't a global village, right? Oh, wait. My teacher said to me, try studying it if you think you are smart. Oh, you hate him. No, 100% makes sense. But like, no, teachers in India, or even like here, actually, I will tell you something interesting. There are a couple of stories I can't say online because some people will get in trouble if I tell the truth for things like racism and stuff, and partiality in my university even. Can't say those, but I will say this. It's important to know that if you want help, you can get it. You just have to ask for it. So always ask. Like, even the answer is no. Just ask. Always ask. That's one big thing I learned while doing door-to-door sales in my life. Just ask, right? And yeah, just have your parents. Your parents will always be there for you, and that's why, like, always be there for them. Idor, yo, you missed something big, bro. Ghost try me. Ask for help, and that's the reason, right? Like, there is, if anybody wants, my personal chat is always open for you guys. I won't show what's going on, but my personal chat is always open. There is a specific mental health section I put, right? And if you want, we can have some anonymity, find ways. Bro, I need some money too. But no, like in the sense, like for mental health stuff, if you guys ever need help, my chat is always open, lads. Yeah, inner peace. But thank you so much, lads. This is almost 1 a.m. I have to sleep because I have work tomorrow. But tomorrow, 100%. Thank you so much, Wrench, especially because you do push me. And my boy Rabbit here with the whole inferiority complex. He pushes me too, and everyone here. So we'll work towards our breaching. Let's see, breaching. We will complete our breaching Active Directory for sure, right? We will complete our breaching Active Directory for sure, because it's almost just 2 tasks left. We'll cover this, right? Tomorrow, 100%, I promise. We'll focus on Active Directory and complete this so we can move forward with more Active Directory stuff. And do a like, first we will do this and then we will make notes together also, like probably on Tuesday, like a day after, because tomorrow is Monday for me. Okay, so we'll just do learning. Okay. But yeah, breathe air, as my mentor says, antate. Antate. Less time, more to do, running or getting out of time. Yeah, time is always like, it's interesting that you guys understand that. A lot of people don't understand how important time is. So it's a big thing. You guys are saying that. But lads, thank you so much for amazing ideas. Hey, what do you think about this stuff that I gave you? Oh, dude, your stuff was, I didn't check the Active Directory one, but I did check, I think, the PUC. I'd have to check which one I checked. But I saw some stuff and I was like, you know what, I can use that. It's very good. So thank you so much, Idor. And so, if anybody wants, right? Yeah, I think you can send it in the Discord. 100%. Go for it. So Idor will send some really good resources for OSCP and Active Directory. So if anybody wants, feel free to grab it. Yep. It's 1 a.m. lads. It's 1 a.m. But thank you so much, guys. I'll take your leave now, right? And thank you. Have a great day. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the idea on Fern video, right? Ramanujan one, and even like other videos we saw. So thank you so much. Have a good one. Stay blessed. Let me know if you guys need any help, right? And we'll cover Active Directory, breaching Active Directory tomorrow. Till then, this is your favorite censored hacker signing off. Bye. Bye, everyone. Good night or good day. Thank you so much.